Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Morning Coffees with James. I'm James. This is my morning coffee show. Yeah, I'm starting a little late today. I have no work today. So what are we talking about today? Well, I want to talk about this problem we have in this country now, that is narcissism. And I'm not talking about narcissism of just everything, of just social media or of everywhere. I want to talk about the Snow White actress who, was talking about the original Snow White versus the new one they're making, which is absolutely asinine. And I'm just so tired of this ESG woke nonsense bullcrap that they're putting out there nowadays. What happened to the good storytelling nowadays? And a lot of people talk about millennial writing and they kind of assume it's just a generational thing, but it's really not. I think it's the wrong people got into the wrong positions of power because either they were good at pronouncing the Latin word of fellatio or cunnilingus, or they bribed their way, they snuck their way in, they bullshitted their way in, and we have all these stupid bastards in here who don't care about what they're making, they don't care about who they hurt in the process, and they don't care about anything else except for their own, narcissistic needs. Now, granted, I was watching I forget the actress's name. I don't fucking care for her. It's like something, but she was talking about the original remake, and this is, the original movie versus what they're remaking right now. It's, in the remake, in the original, Snow White is about a girl who gets, and I gotta say something about this damn movie to begin with, because this is my field of expertise, arts and entertainment, and this is what I went to school for. It's this bullshit, nonsense of just, look, in the original story, Snow White is held captive by the evil queen who's, talking about who's the fairest of them all, and, they say Snow White because she's pure of heart and blah, 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 blah. And then there's Prince Charming who comes to save her and stuff like that, and it's a good romance story, and it's also a good story about meeting some strange individuals that come into your life, and change it. I mean, via the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The dwarves' lives change from this one pure of heart woman, or girl, I don't know, depending on how you feel about it. But young woman, I would say. And it's a good story. But now the remake is doing a lot of bullshit, nonsensical things. Let's talk about the dwarves real quick, because I want to talk about how Peter Dinklage just fucked everybody over. And like the fact that it's now the 7 bandits and 1 token dwarf. And I think that token dwarf is Peter Dinklage, which honestly pisses me off, because it's just like, so you couldn't hire good actors. Like good I know, and Wee Man talked about this from Jackass. He was talking about this. They were interviewing him, and it's like, it's a double-edged sword there, where it's stereotypical, it's typecasting, but it's also kind of proper casting. Like, in a sense, it's like, on one end, it's appropriate to cast dwarves as the 7 dwarves, and on the other end, it's also kind of Hollywood is just afraid of just, typecasting somebody, or they're afraid of just typecasting, or they're just afraid of just like casting the wrong person and getting back. People are too much in love with the idea of outrage, and it's like we need, and this is to these big name creatives and the small name creatives too. Let's not care about what these people say, because Twitter is not the real world. Make art and just do not give a fuck what anybody says. Yes, I said the F word. We've forgotten that. We've forgotten just to make art, and if you offend somebody, oh well. Be like Eminem. I just don't give a fuck. You're going to offend anybody. People are just easily going to offend because they don't want to talk about it, or they don't want anybody to oh, well, I'm white knighting. I'm a white knight. Like, who gives a... You're not a knight. You're not a hero. You're just some asshole on Twitter, or some loudmouth soccer mom. Let's take back the real name of these fucking people. That's not Karens or Shaniquas or whatever the fuck you want to call a variant of, of these people. These are middle-aged, wino soccer moms who complain and complain and complain about either A or B and B and C and ruin everybody's fucking fun. These are the same people who are basically moms against fun. That's who they are. Moms against guns, moms against this, moms against... Mom, back to the kitchen. In fact, no, don't go back to the kitchen. Just shut the fuck up, sit there and watch your weeds and drink wine and fantasize about being a drug dealer. While the boys watch Breaking Bad and fantasize about being meth dealers. Jesse, we need a cook. Okay. But the problem I see here with... what was he talking about? Snow White. And also the fact that you cast Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot as... Look up any image of Gal Gadot. I don't care if it's naughty or not. But... And tell me that if that's the evil queen. If you saw that being the evil queen and you'd be like, I'm here to save you, and you saw the Gal Gadot as the evil queen, you'd be like, sorry, Snow White. The game's been rigged from the start. And especially how this Snow White's been talking. I deserve to be paid more for standing in a dress. It's like, no, you don't. You're just there for a diversity hire. That's the sad truth. That has always been the sad freaking truth. And these people have become so narcissistic that... Hell, even Brie, like the whole thing with Brie Larson, like that when she first became not Miss Marvel, because I would not stain that name, and no, the real Miss Marvel is not Kamala Khan or Brie Larson. It's Carol Danvers, and no, Brie Larson is no Carol Danvers. And yes, I will say this, Brie Larson's very pretty, but let's be honest, she's kind of a bitch. But the thing that bothers me about the kind of like the way she acted in those movies, the way she was promoting herself, a lot of people just did not like her. She was just like, because let's be honest, like the entire Marvel cast before like in Infinity War, they got along good. Everybody got along good. It was like an ensemble cast. Think about it. It's an ensemble cast, not just Robert Downey Jr. You had Robert Downey, Gwyneth Paltrow. You had Tommy Lee Jones. You had all these famous actors and a lot of unknowns who became known. Anthony Mackie, Chris Hemsworth. I'm sorry, Chris Evans. Chris Evans was in a lot of romantic comedies. Yes, he was also in The Human Torch, which honestly, so was Michael B. Jordan. They both went through a trial of fire to become Marvel heroes. But this is something I'm just kind of annoyed with. It's not in the sense of just this kind of narcissistic, I'm better than everybody else, and I'm the top dog, and I'm playing the first female lead, which Jennifer Lawrence was like, I'm the first female like lead ever, strong, independent woman. It's like, you people are just fucking dumb narcissists who don't care about movies, who don't care about the art, who don't care, who don't give a shit because you're too busy your own fucking bullshit, feeding your own fucking, eating your own bullshit, because that's what you're doing. You're feeding, you are buying into your own nonsense. And Christopher Lee talked about this. Never think you're top dog. Always think there's always room for improvement. Always, you gotta strive for being better. Even if you were great in what you did before, you gotta be like, okay, I gotta be better than that. Like, it's obsession. I know people talk about it being body dysmorphia or dysmorphia of a certain thing, but like, that's the truth about it. It's like, you have to really see the potential in you to be better than what you were before. Don't just be sloppy and think you're the best. You have to come and, it's a mindset through and through. Yes, I am the best, but don't buy into your own publicity. That's what I meant to say. Even that, like, I don't give a fuck about the Snow White actress too either. I'm just like, you know what? I don't care. I don't care about the skin color or this or that or just. But the way she kind of disrespected, the original, which Walt Disney was trying to. Walt Disney crafted a piece of art. If you watch Snow White, he was trying to get an Oscar. He was trying to get an Oscar, and the Oscars snubbed him because, it's animated. It's not, live action. Which, honestly, I'm so tired of this, belittling of things like cartoons or animation in general. Not just cartoons. Animation or video games or, anything that people can deem childish or infantile. this is what I'm getting annoyed with our culture in a sense. It's like, yes, we need adult things, but it's not really what we need is adult things. We need mature things. We need things that we can watch and be like, okay, this is not insulting my intelligence. This is not downplaying anything. This is not thinking I'm stupid and have everything spoon-fed to me. That's the problem nowadays. And I do believe it's not just the people. I also believe it's the studios and the people who make stuff, who help produce it, because they don't understand how things are made. You don't spoon-feed feed things. You got to give it information slowly. Let the audience figure it out. But nobody wants to do that because TikTok. Well, these generation of kids, they're always on TikTok, and it's like, then make a movie about the dangers of TikTok, the dangers of social media. Make movies great again. It's such a fucking bizarre divide we're living in nowadays. It's like, can we get movies nowadays? Can we get things that are just not, psyops this or, propaganda turned on its head? Yes, I'm talking about the goddamn Barbie movie, which honestly, it makes me laugh how they thought they were insulting men by making Ken the bad guy, but everybody loves Ken. Which is like, and then also you had Ryan Gosling play that character. It's like, stop making propaganda. Stop shoving an agenda down our throats. Stop acting like narcissistic assholes, alright? But then again, back to Disney and all that shit. Disney made that movie he made Snow White to show the beauty of animation, how you can make something like that, to basically make moving art. Like what you would see in an art gallery, to see that move, the fluidity of animation. Watch that movie. And the fact that people, that little, spoiled brat was just like, well, on the original he was a stalker, and it's like, we're changing all that. Now Snow White's seeking power. It's like, you are just exposing what every feminist wants. Unlimited power. That's what feminism has become. It's a power grab. Power grab. It's about revenge. It's about power grab. It's about control. It's about dominating. It's about basically being better than men, or in this case, being men. Because nowadays, and I know people are gonna get upset at me about that, you're being transphobe. I'm not afraid of people wearing men wearing dresses. I'm not afraid of women wearing pants. I'm concerned that some of these people get ultra violent when you call them the wrong name, and then they try to attack you. Why? Just say, correct them. Be like, it's ma'am. It's like, I'm sorry. I go by this name. Yes, I may look like one thing, but I'm actually. Just be calm about that. But they're not. They want to fight, and it seems like everybody is looking for a windmill. Like, especially the left is looking for a windmill to fight. And I know I pick on the left a lot, but also the right's the same way. But the left is mostly, they're obnoxious about it. It's like, yes, everybody, and again, I'm not a big fan of the right or the left, because none of them give a shit about art or fun and that matter. They don't care about, well, this needs to be censored because X, Y, and Z. If you just replace censor Y and then hear what they have to say from both sides, they're just equally the same. They're trying to protect something. They're trying to fight the big baddie of something. I say, you know what? Just accept that things exist. It's like, and especially in this country, we're so narcissistic about our own, image, and especially everybody, especially in this country, because it's like, it's funny, in comic books in America are looked down upon, but comic books in France, Bandai's, grandmas go into comic book stores to see different comics, and you know what? Same thing with animation. Same thing with video games. I don't play a video game, and this is the thing that annoys the shit out of me. I'm so tired of pretentious fucking video games, and I know I'm going off topic here. I am so tired of pretentious fucking video games, telling me this lengthy story, or better, lecturing me. We have this problem in this country that everybody thinks they're a teacher and they must lecture somebody because they think they're stupid. I'm going to say something to you. And it's good without saying, always assume that this person you're talking to knows something. Always assume that. Always assume that they're not stupid. And if they do, they may know something you don't. And they may but they like lecturing people. And, it's just like the way our country is. And I know I'm going off top here again. But back onto Snow White, we need to stop this nonsense. And I don't care about the writer's strike. I mean, like, look, if this was back in a couple of years ago, yeah, maybe, but nowadays, stop being SJWs and we won't have a problem. We won't have a problem with you telling a story, but no, I don't care. You are, I feel bad for the She-Hulk writers? No, I don't. Do I feel bad for any of these writers who, write stories for a living, which I would love to have their jobs. I would love to be an actor, or I would love to be a writer for these people. I would love to be in the entertainment business, because I think I could do better than these fucking people. I really do. Because I wouldn't be, bogged down by the idea of, I need to push some message. No, I want to tell good stories. Your message, and again, like I keep, if you've ever watched my stuff, and I know you probably have, if I ever talk about this, your message must be the last thing you must be concerned about. The story, the plot, characters, the setting, everything else is more important than, your message. Your message must be the background dressing. And also don't choose a side with that. Don't be like, I'm pro this, or I'm anti that, or I'm anti this and pro that. No, you gotta lay that on the table and be like, all right, let's have a discussion. Let's have you think about it. Because otherwise you're going to end up in like the same situation Alan Moore did with Rorschach. He made that character to basically give a dig to the question, and also to right-wing conservatives and the superhero genre. To superheroes in general, vigilantes. But it turned out everybody liked Rorschach. And I'm going to have to say this too. Unpopular opinion, I think Watchmen the movie is better than the graphic novel. There, I said it. I stand by that. And I've read the graphic novel. I like the graphic novel, but the movie does it better, and has sincerity about it. Yes, is it kind of bittersweet and is kind of nihilistic a little bit, but if you really think about that, how the movie portrays itself, it's, on one end you can be like, oh well, it's the downplaying of superheroes, and being a vigilante is bad, and it's the same thing as being a member of a certain organization. No! Like, looking at our world today with the injustice and the people causing chaos and mayhem and stuff like that, we wouldn't, like, why do you think, minus Rorschach, you got, what's this, Travis Bickle, you have the guy from you have Defense from Falling Down. You have so many of these, like, literally me characters who are vigilantes, especially Travis Bickle, because he's the most controversial out of all of them and the most debatable. Because either A, people think he's a coward and a villain and a maniac, and other people think he's a hero and he's doing the right thing. I think he's more of a broken down man trapped in purgatory. And he thought his only escape was death. Like, really, that's what I think. Because if you think about, I'm going off topic here. If you watch that movie, especially the two women in the movie, Sybil Shepherd's character and Iris, I forget Sybil Shepherd. I remember Jodie Foster's Iris, but if you look at those two characters in the movie, one of them, he's trying to find a companion for a solitary companion, and the other is like he sees something pure and beautiful being distorted in a dark, hellish world. Like, let's be honest, 1970s New York was not a good place to live at that time. And so he sees, like, when he's with Shepard, he's looking for companionship, but it turns out that failed because he's just too fucking crazy and accidentally takes her to a porn theater. But then you've got the whole thing with Iris, Sybil, Jodie Foster's character. He's trying to get her out. And people talk about him with the whole Palatine thing. I'm thinking, like, I don't think he was planning on assassinating him, because I think he really wanted to just kind of get the adrenaline up, because he was going on. I feel like his whole focus was getting Iris out of there and basically taking out the pimps and and all the other deviants that were in that building too. That's what I think really was going down on there. He wasn't trying to kill. He wasn't trying to do something to Palatine. I think he was trying to get his adrenaline up, because if you see in the beginning of that whole scene, and he's taking out the the pimps and all that stuff, when he shoots a Harvey Keitel, he sits down for a minute because he's like a little excited because he hasn't been in combat for a while. So it's like, and also the fact that his mind is kind of screwed up too. So, but that's all I got to say about that. That's my opinion. I'll give you a full analysis of what I think about Taxi Driver. Final thoughts? Well, this is just another bullshit incident in Hollywood. This is just another, sign of the times that our culture is being controlled by a bunch of narcissistic psychopaths, and we need to make entertainment great again, and to usher in the Iron Age of entertainment, the Iron Age of art and entertainment.